Hi! My name is Kerry, and this is my final update for the Finish It or Frog It February challenge that I had placed on myself. And the sun has come. For me to have been successful in this challenge, I would have had to complete a project at least once a week. I had 5 items I wanted to finish, and February is a nice even 4 weeks. Did I do it? I was sick last week, but please subscribe and let's jump into what I was or was not able to do this last month. I was sick last week. I feel much better now. I'm still a little croaky, but let's see where we are. First, I would like to throw it back to one of the first things I finished. This lovely lace scarf. This has been done since the beginning of the month, but I recently blocked it, so now you really can see the lace, and it makes me much happier with this project. I really do think that the magic of a lace happens after it's been blocked, because I am known to say I do not like lace, but maybe I like it a little bit better. So yes, this was something that was completed during the month of February. Success. Another scarf I was able to finish. This was the big ol' scarf that I didn't think I was gonna finish because it was a little bit boring to make, but it's a gift for somebody. This is the perfect size for a nice infinity scarf. Last time we talked, this was still on the needles. I finished the length of it. It is about 5.5 feet long, and then I sewed it together into an infinity scarf. So now I can sit right here, which I think is perfect for just underneath a little coat. Now I just need to actually see my friend and gift this to her. Look at that, another item done. Now I want to get personal with you. This whole challenge was basically so I can finish this next project. I'd put off this project for too long that I needed this to be done so that I could stay mentally well. It's done. The whole sheep sweater. I'm not joking when I say that I finished it yesterday. I wanted this as a part of my outfit for work, so I needed to have it finished because I had already planned out the full outfit to go with it. So everything's done. I got tons of compliments on it, which is one of the nicer parts about making your own clothes and then going into work and showing them off. This is just oversized enough. It's just the right length. There are little design flaws that I chose to do that I don't necessarily love. I don't like the spacing and placement of the sheep on the front panels. I think it looks great in the back, not so great in the front, but that's my own mistake. The biggest change I would have made, it was a conscious choice that I made this choice, but I wouldn't do it again. I wouldn't make it in cotton. I think the color work would have melded better if it was wool. The cotton is too not fluffy. I don't know what the word for not fluffy is. Wool would have made it a softer look, which I think would have melded better with the color work. But I wanted a cotton cardigan, and I thought this was the option. I did. I still like it. I still love it. So that's done. Add it to the finish pile. Now I do have some disappointing news. I didn't complete 2 of my projects. And I was so confident that this first one, I was gonna be done. But I've dubbed it my forgotten project. This is my cable knit vest. I knit up the panels for this so quickly, attached them, seamed them all together, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be done so quickly. Look how much work I've already done on it. These are the button bands. There's been some progress. They're not done yet, which means this is a failure. I did just realize that I'm wearing a gray sweater vest while talking about making a gray sweater vest. I have a type, okay? But I think once this is made up, I'll love it. I just need to finish it. I got so excited about doing the cable work on the panels and constructing the actual garment. And then once it came to just doing these little finishing pieces, because I still need to do the collar as well. So I need to do the little button bands. They need to get finished and attached. I did make little ties to go like here Then I still need to do the whole collar. And I still might want to redo the cast off edge on my armholes. They're still a little tight. It's so sad. But she's so pretty. It's okay. We all can't be perfect, but this will be when it's finished. And finally, the only other thing I didn't finish is the blue scarf. My blue little triangle scarf. I have no excuse. I just didn't want to work on it. And when I did knit, I was doing this because the gray sweater vest is closer to being finished than the blue triangle shawl is to being finished. And I'm just remembering each time I look at this how much time a single row takes, and that I don't like knitting on straight needles. So there's compounding factors here of why I didn't work on this in the last week. I was ill, so I didn't have the energy to work on something on size 2 needles. I did not have the willpower to work on something that has this many stitches on size 2 needles, and they're straight needles, which just are not as much fun for me to work on, but I'm not gonna go buy a new set of needles because I don't think I'll be knitting things this small ever again. Now, because I am a big ol' failure, I'm just kidding, but because I didn't finish my challenge, I have made it a rule for myself that I am not to start anything new until these February projects are wrapped up. I think that's fair because I have so many ideas going on, but I need to finish these 2 things, which is achievable now that I finished all of this other stuff. And these were way bigger lifts than these remaining projects. I'm not gonna start anything, and I think that's completely fair. It might be that in April is the next time I start something. I don't know. We'll see. I did buy some brand new yarn before the full announcement that Joann Fabrics is closing its stores. So I did get a nice deal on some yarn. And I do have projects in mind, but those won't be touched until this sweater vest is finished and this blue shawl is finished. Because I cannot let these 2 things go into the pile of perpetually unfinished projects. I'm gonna guess that in 2 or 3 days after I post this video and my sense of public shaming, I'm gonna finish this sweater vest. So sometimes you need that little external motivation. And this was a good external motivation. Look at all the stuff I finished. Thank you for joining me on my Finish It or Frog It February finale. I'm all excited to be done with this challenge. I'm happy I did it. It really has put into perspective how many projects I have going on at once and how I don't need to do that. Sometimes it's nice to do that, but I've also really enjoyed knowing I have one thing to work on, or that the time I'm putting into it is actually making progress. Because this sheep sweater was over a year's worth of progress, and I did so much of the work in the month of February. I could have had this a year earlier. But remember, you are not a machine. You can enjoy the process. Enjoying the process is the process. Enjoying the process is the whole hobby of knitting. Yes, it is nice to have our finished projects. It is nice to be able to show them off. But it's the new skills you learned along the way. It's the joy that you get to give something to somebody. And I don't know, there's probably a story in there somewhere. Okay, well, let me finish up my other 2 projects so I'm not a complete failure. Just kidding. I hope you had a wonderful February, and let's have an even better March. Bye bye.